Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Emily, the Petite beauty blogger, and in today's video I'll be typing myself into an Instagram filter. Okay, so there is this filter on Instagram. I'll put the picture up here. I am in love with it. It makes me feel like a badass chick, and I was doing it so often that my sister-in-law was like, why don't create it out of makeup? Now, we are totally honest on this channel. I'm totally transparent. I was a bit shit scared to do it because it is a full-on dragon and it's very intricate and it's going to take a lot of eyeliner, but when I do makeup I like to push myself a little bit. I was a bit nervous, but that's always good, and if it doesn't turn out good then I don't know whether I should post a video or not, but I'm very excited. It is going to take a while, so I've got the whole day to myself to have a crack at it. I'm going to be using eyeliner to create it. I've got my trusty Wet n Wild Mega Liner. It has got a really nice thin applicator, which is going to be very useful today, but maybe if I want something a bit more precise, I have these paintbrushes. Now, I actually kind of like paintbrushes for doing makeup. I know that sounds really, I don't know, because yeah, but they are really good quality and they are really thin, so they will be really good for detailing. So I did actually buy these because I face paint sometimes, so these will be perfect for eyeliner and getting really precise, as this look is very precise. And I'm going to try and get a good shot for you guys, but I'm going to have to get in pretty close as it's really detailed, and I hope I get it on camera. I'm going to try, but I do want this look to be as cool as possible. So let's get going. Pray for me. Okay, so I did actually go on Instagram and I kind of did 3 kind of pictures just for reference. So if I'm on my phone a lot, that's because I'm looking at them for reference and just staring at them to make sure I get it all correct. Now, before I do actually add any liner, because once you've gone in with liner it's very hard to then fix it if you go completely tits up, I'm going to use a white pencil liner just to outline the shapes for reference. I'm trying to think which side might be easier to the dragon, so I think I might do this side for the dragon. This side kind of has like a tail. There's like a half crescent moon shape here, which I might get done first because that's the easiest, just to calm me down a bit, because I don't want to go straight in with the dragon, stress me out. And then there are some like flower kind of motifs up here, and I won't be able to do much because I don't really have much space to work with, but we are going to give it a try. So I'm going to move in and get started. I'm just going to start off with the crescent. Now, using my Wet n Wild Mega Liner, I'm just going to create the crescent shape and follow the shape we've just created with the white liner. And if there is white left over on the edges, don't worry, we can clean that up in a second with concealer or foundation. Moving very quickly on, I'm going to go in with white liner to draw out that snake shape kind of tail, and the reason why I use white liner is because it's easy to use. You can plan your looks, and if you go wrong you can rub it off, whereas if you were to use a liquid liner it's a lot harder to get rid of if you go wrong. Actually, going to start the details of this snake shape, and there's like some weird, I don't know, letters and numbering, and then from there you can see there's loads of like little rectangles that go around, and they're going to create like the base of the shape, and then later on we are going to go in and fill in the little gaps, but first we are just going to do the little rectangles just so we know the shape and work out where the shape's going, and then we can fix it from there. So as you can see, I am just doing loads of little rectangles because, as you can see, it's now creating the shape, and you can really start to get the shape that you desire. Okay, so I've kind of done the outline. There are loads of little kind of like boxes in the kind of tail shape that kind of create the shape, So what I am going to do now is just go in and fill it in, just to add the actual detail and just to make it more lifelike. To be completely honest with you, the little details in between the boxes aren't really visible on the filter, but you can kind of create your own shapes in between. So you can do crosses, you can do lines, just as long as it stays within that kind of shape and it doesn't go over, because you don't want to lose the shape that we've created. Now I'm moving on to the one that I was the most nervous about, because it is very extremely intricate, and of course I want to make this perfect. I know it's probably not going to be perfect, but we are going to give this a try. The actual dragon's body isn't tricky. I think I can do that one. It's the head, because it's like a traditional kind of Chinese dragon. Of course I want to do it correct. I don't want to offend anyone. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm going back in with that same little detailed brush, because I love that. That was so good. And I'm still going to be using my Wet n Wild mega liner, because that is a winner every single time. And of course, first you have got to outline, otherwise I don't want to go into this blindly. So let's give this a try. The head kind of comes out of the eye, but the neck is almost like up here, so that's the one bit I'm worried about, because I have very hooded eyes, and there's a lot of detail around here, and the claws I'm a bit worried about too, but we are going to try our best when we get to it. To visit with the white liner, I'm just creating a very large kind of S shape, but one thing I did forget to do here is leave space for a second line, which I was a bit annoyed about. But the great thing about doing white liner is you can literally just rub it away if you go wrong, and you can just redraw it back on. But at this point I've realised that I have done it wrong, so that's why I'm carrying on. And see, it's easy to rub away and you can just fix it. That's what I love so much about planning it first, and then it's foolproof. Okay, let's get going and pray for me. So first and first, I'm just going to draw out his little body. So what I'm doing now is following our white lines that we have already drawn and drawing on top of them with the black liner using our very cool detailed painting brush. Moving swiftly on, I'm now drawing a third line just on the outside of that outer line, because that is going to be his belly. Okay, so that dragon in that kind of belly bit we have just drawn has got straight lines, so this will be probably the easiest bit I do today. Just got to make sure that they are evenly spread apart. Right, that kind of belly is done, and now I'm going to go on to his kind of like zigzag, what do they, mane? I think that's what it is. God knows. For this bit, it's just very simple. I literally am drawing zigzags, following it around, but make sure when you do the zigzags you tailor it to go round the curve. That's what I struggled a bit on the first bit, but once you've done it, if you have gone wrong, you can easily fix it. So just get some foundation or concealer and tidy it up. Now I will be honest, in the filter the scales are, you can't really see them that much because it's, you know, it's so detailed that it's hard to kind of tell. So for this next bit, it does take me a very long time. It's probably the most time consuming, but I'm literally just doing some scales like a mermaid tail or a fish, even though this is a dragon. So basically it's scalloped, and when you move down, the scalloped edging kind of starts in the middle of the curve and then joins back up into the middle of the next curve. So now I have sped this up just to not bore you guys, because in reality this took me about 20 minutes just to do this bit, 20 to 25 minutes, and I don't think you want to be sat there that long watching me do this. The scales are done, so I am going to move on to the tail, and the tail almost kind of looks a bit like a flame, so we are just going to quickly thicken up here. Okay, I am going to quickly do the arms now before I move on to the face. I know there's some white showing, but don't worry, we can easily cover that up in a second. But I think I'm going to wait till the end to do that, just so I can tidy up everything. And now I'm going to move on to the arms, which have to be pretty sharp because they're talons, basically. Okay, for starters, I'm just going to draw 2 lines. They're going to kind of be the arms, and this is basically going to create kind of like a claw shape, but it's going to be like open, and this is where you have to kind of be careful because you kind of want the fingers to thin out because they are meant to be claws. So you want to have them going from large to thin, so that's where you really have got to be precise. Right, we'll leave that there before we make it any worse. My hands are cramping something crazy right now. Okay, now we are going to move on to the head. Okay, so this kind of section here is kind of going to be the mouth. I just got to fill in some stuff. I don't think I've left enough space for the head, but Lord, 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 we are fucking this up. This doesn't have to be perfect, the outline here, because it's basically going to be fur, so if you do happen to mess up here, you can kind of just do it, just whatever. It's actually kind of looking cool from afar, maybe. Like a Monet. She's a full-on Monet. Oh yes, my dragon's definitely going to be a she. Of course. It'd be bad if I didn't make her a she. Now I am just going to do the nose. So carrying on now with the rest of the facial features, I'm just adding in detail. So the nose, the length of the nose, I'm drawing in some kind of wispy, kind of blown out brows, and the eyes, and of course some little scour lines. Now I've created kind of the face, I can now go around and draw the ears and extra kind of texture and fluff on the top. And of course I can't forget the whiskers. I think that's what they are. Someone in the comments tell me if I'm correct or not. I apologise if I'm not. That is one weird looking dragon. Oh my word. Now it has kind of got an extra bit because that ain't his neck. It goes up here and round, so we are going to attempt to do that now, but I am just going to quickly finish the scales up here. Okay, so carrying on with the next part, this is going to be his neck kind of connecting down into his body, and basically I'm drawing 2 lines round, so they are the outlines of his body, and what we want to do is we want to have such a curve that it looks like it's connecting to his head, and then from there we're going to be drawing that 3rd line, which is kind of his belly shape. All I'm doing now is carrying on and filling in some extra detail like I did below. So what I'm going to do is, because I've had to lean my hat onto it, it has smudged quite a bit, so I'm going to go in with just a really small detailed brush like this one with foundation just to tidy up those edges, and I have got a major cramp in my hand. Lord, that took me a while. Okay, so we are very nearly finished. I've just got the 2 bits up here to do, and it's kind of like, they're kind of like roses, like a rose motif on either side with just some swirls. So that shouldn't be too hard. I probably just jinxed it, but it's definitely going to be a lot easier than the dragon and whatever this is. So I'm just going to start off with the rose, and then you can kind of build around it. Now it's quite messy, so it's quite a messy kind of looking rose, so I'm not worried too much about how the lines could go, unless obviously it's got to look like a rose. That is the main point. Now, apologies for this, I am having to go onto the other side because I didn't really film the other side. I was leaning a bit too low, so I didn't really get the shot. But basically, I drew my rose, I did the giant stem coming off, swirling, and from that stem we are going to add some other swirls with some roses and some thorns and some leaves. It's pretty free, you can kind of do whatever you want. That's what I loved about it. And it was kind of messy, that was the whole style. It wasn't very precise, and I really like that. It's kind of cute, oh my gosh. Right, and we are nearly done. I'm actually now just going to do some normal liner. Apologies for this one as well, I'm terrible at getting the correct shot and getting in, but basically it's just a winged liner. Okay, sorry, I know, bad angle. I am just going to use these Unlimited lashes. Now, these ones are in number 14, but what I have done is I'm getting 2, and I'm just doubling them up so they are a bit thicker, because they are more of a natural lash, and these lashes are blown out to the gods, and I don't really have any lashes that look like that, so I'm creating my own, which isn't too hard. Right, last step. Oh my god, this didn't take as long as I thought it was going to, which I'm really proud about. So the last step I'm going to do is my lips. Now on this filter, it did kind of give me like a blown out kind of lip, but more up the top, so I am just going to do it a bit deeper at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the LA Girl lip liner in Spice, and I'm just going to overdraw on the top here. So for the lip liner look, I am going to draw it in a bit deeper at the top, and for the lines coming down, I'm going to bring them in further than I normally would, just to really blow out kind of my cupid's bow, because on the filter my cupid's bow area is blown out, and by drawing in the lines closer it will give that kind of blown out effect. And then I'm going to take this Makeup Revolution lipstick in the shade The One. And last but not least, the very last step is setting spray. And today I'm going to go in with my MAC Fix Plus. So the dragon wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. The body itself was pretty easy. It was just getting the characteristics in the face and up on this bit. That's the bit I didn't really like. But other than that, although it looks hard, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So I'm pretty happy. And there you have it. There is the completed look. Look at my poor hand. That's going to take some serious cleaning later. I was so scared to do it, but I have fallen in love, and it's probably one of my favourite looks because I was scared to do it, and it has just been, it's always good to push the boat and do things that you are a bit afraid of, because you may love what you do. And thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit more intense, so not everyone will want to do this look, but I'm very excited that I did it, and I'm very excited that you watched. Please make sure you are subscribed so you get more videos like this, and hit the notification bell so you are notified when these videos come out. I will put the pictures on my Instagram at Petite Beauty Blogger. You can also like my pro Facebook page, facebook.com/MEO by Emily. I'll put my pro website down below, my Twitter, and also my TikTok for those who want to follow on there as well, because I'll do a cute little video on this as well. And as always, I'm so grateful that you watched. I'm obsessed with this look, and I'll see you in my next video.